new step in the development of exchanges between Japan and New Zealand. Participation for today. Thank you. That was Ms. Katsuno's opening remarks.
それではですね、今一度ご案内をさせていただきます。本日は日本語、英語の2カ国語をお選びいただけるようになっております。変更の場合は画面の下ほどにあるでしょうか、通訳マーク、地球儀のマークを押していただきますと、日本語もしくは英語をお選びいただけるようになっておりますので、どうぞご利用いただければと思います。
Thank you so much for participating today. As for simultaneous interpretation service, we can choose between Japanese or English for today. So please click the button below for language selection between Japanese and English.
皆様のこれまでの交流を振り返っていきたいと思います。
Okay, so from now on, let's hear from each New Zealand host town and local authorities about their activities and initiatives.
はい、ありがとうございます。酒田市は2017年から若手トライアスロン選手を地元
So
トライアスロン
Sakata City has deepened its trust with triathlon New Zealand by inviting young athletes to local triathlon events since 2017 and deepening exchanges with citizens during these events.
その結果、本市は
As a result, our city was chosen as the pre-camp for the national team, which was a great opportunity for us to build momentum in the lead up to the Olympic Games.
ホストタウン活動において大きな役割を果たしたのは
Young people such as high school and university students have played a major role in the host town activities. They volunteered to support the young athletes
ボランティアや
and organize social events and helped promoting New Zealand.
ニュージーランドを応援するオリジナルアズマ袋
Many of their ideas were put into practice, such as the production and presentation of original Azuma bags and kasafuku, a traditional craft to support New Zealand.
アイデアが形になったものがたくさんありました。酒田市では
In Sakata City, the host town activities are designed to promote New Zealand and triathlon to work in collaboration with other New Zealand host towns to create a symbiotic society and to give shape to ideas.
アイデアを形にする。これらの活動を全国に PR する。
And we feel that this is a great opportunity for us to promote these activities and also initiatives
トラ
nationally.
イアスロンを通じたニュージーランドとの交流、共生社
It
会
was a great opportunity for us to communicate with New Zealand through triathlon to work towards a symbiotic society and to promote our activities nationwide. We believe that our links with New Zealand host towns and Japanese Association of Auckland will be a legacy that will be used in variety of future initiatives in our city.
発表ありがとうございました。ね、交流の楽しそうなお写真とともに、トライアスロン、またアイデアが形になった今後が楽しみだという発表をいただきました。ありがとうございます。さあ、それでは続きまして、群馬県渋川市の皆様、ご準備はいかがでしょうか。
Next up, it will be a presentation from Shibukawa City, from Gunma Prefecture.
はい、渋川市の後藤です。よろしくお願いします。
I am
渋川市
Goto
は
from Shibukawa City.
交流の一環として
As a part of the city exchange with New Zealand, Shibukawa City held a course on the country's
ニュージー
flag
ランドの国旗の成り立ちや
and national anthem.
国情について学び、合唱を楽しみました。歌詞の意味を知ることで、
So
心を
our group learned about the origins of New Zealand's flag and also the meaning of national anthem of New Zealand and the countries.
中で大変
We also enjoy a lot singing
合唱
of the choral performance.
有効都市にも紹介し、大変喜んでいただきました。以上です。ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much.
ありがとうございました。後藤さんより発表をいただきました。
That was a presentation from Ms. Goto from Shibukawa City.
ありがとうございます。
We have amazing exchange between New Zealand through music and singing.
市原市の皆様、ご準備はいかがでしょう
Now
か。
we are going to hear from Ichikawa City.
市原市の佐久間です。
はい。
I am Sakuma from Ichihara City. And Ichihara City has had a 30-year-long exchange with New Zealand between civic groups. And since registering as a host town, we have expanded our exchange to various fields. Including hosting a training camp for national women's softball team. As a result of these efforts, Auckland United FC and JEF United have signed a three-way cooperation agreement on the promotion of international exchange through football, which is directed by Mr. Hiroshi Miyazawa, a former member of JEF United and current football coach in New Zealand. And we have also signed a memorandum of understanding of educational exchange with Education New Zealand to implement online school-to-school exchange. So we believe that Ichihara City has been able to establish such a new friendly relationship with New Zealand through the Host Town initiative. Thank you.
30年も続いた交流があったんですね。皆様の笑顔が眩しい集合写真もとても良かったです。ありがとうございます。さあ、それでは続きまして、千葉県君津市の皆様、ご準備いかがでしょうか。
君津市です。
はい。
So we are Kimitsu City. So result of the project so far, let me explain. Kimitsu City, in cooperation with Ichihara City, hosted a training camp for New Zealand national women's softball team, the White Sox, for 3 consecutive years. The training camp often attracts more than 1,000 spectators a day who came to watch the team play at the top level skills. And we also, the players also provided valuable hands-on experience for local elementary and middle school students by teaching them how to play football. As a part of their hospitality to the athletes, we were also given the opportunity to experience Japanese culture by taking part in calligraphy class with local high students, where they wrote their favorite kanji characters on fans. They also have opportunity to experience Zen meditation. Also, the team visited Mada Farm, a tourist attraction with atmosphere like New Zealand, which has a New Zealand feel, Mada Farm. For the break for their training, like intense training, they had the talk session with the local community as well. Through the host town exchange program, many citizens have been able to interact with each other in the body of ways, which was contribute to the promotion, international exchange, and sport in our city. Thank you very much.
とても楽しそうなお写真でしたね。ありがとうございます。では続きまして、神奈川県厚木市の皆様ご準備いかがでしょうか。
Okay, next up will be Kanagawa Prefecture, Atsugi City.
はい、それでは説明させていただきます。厚木市企画制作課の川崎と申します。
I'm Kawasaki.
厚木市での事前キャンプのポイントについて説明いたします。
I'd like to explain the pre-camp activities in Atsugi City. So Atsugi City hosted the New Zealand men's and women's national football team for pre-camp from 4th to 17th July this year. During the pre-camp, message of support and photos were displayed at the training venue and accommodation to raise the momentum for the tournament, and volunteer interpreters and student volunteers were recruited in addition to city staff to provide extensive support for the team. And in addition to that, during the pre-camp period, there were online exchange event with the city's elementary school students, and they also play FIFA 21 game between the players and the children of the Football Association. Furthermore, in order for the citizens to know what is going on during the camp period, we have made a video called Inside Story Movie Project, which is the documentary style video with interviewers with the players, staff, and other people involved, and which is available on Atsugi City's official YouTube account. So please stay tuned. Thank you very much.
ね、子供たちもとても楽しそうな表情でしたね。またムービーもぜひチェックしてみたいと思います。ありがとうございました。さあ、それでは続きまして石川県の皆様ご準備いかがでしょうか。
結構です。
はい、お願いいたします。
石川県の
Now we are from Ishikawa Prefecture. My name is Tadayoshi Ikeda. I'm director of Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Olympic training camp. So Ishikawa Prefecture has been selected as a pre-Olympic training camp for the New Zealand canoe, paracanoe, and trampoline teams, and together with Komatsu City, Ishikawa has become the host town. The reason why Ishikawa Prefecture was so active in an initiative and inviting Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic teams to the pre-Olympic training camp was because we hope that the experience of playing with the world top athletes from another country would bring dreams and encouragement to the athletes in the prefecture and to the children who lead the next generation of us.
事前合宿を受け入れることに
We are aware that the Olympic and Paralympic Games are a lifelong dream for athletes, and this year we have taken every precaution to ensure that the athlete can train in a safe environment and the local community can interact with them in a safe environment. We are very proud that the New Zealand athlete who trained in our prefecture won 4 medals, 3 golds, and 1 bronze.
オリンピックイヤーの今年だけでなく数年前から
Also, we are also very grateful to New Zealand team for their support of our local community, not only in this year's Olympic, but also over the past few years. You can see from these pictures, the smiles on everyone's faces in this picture. You can see the quality of the exchanges. That was wonderful. Thank you very much.
ね、迎え入れの時からお餅つき、ね、いろんな交流があって、さらにはメダルの獲得、もうね、市民の皆さんもとても喜ばれたんじゃないでしょうか。どうもありがとうございました。では続きまして、滋賀県大津市の皆様ご準備いかがでしょうか。
はい、大丈夫です。
Next up will be Otsu City from Shiga Prefecture.
大津市です。よろしくお願いします。大津市は令和2年5月29日
So Otsu City was registered as a host town of New Zealand on 29 May 2020. In preparation for the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, the Shiga Prefecture Boat Association and the Shiga Prefecture Sports Association formed the Bring the Excitement of the Tokyo Olympics to Lake Biwa, and pre-Olympic training camp for the New Zealand rowing team was held. During the training camp, the direct contact with athletes was not possible due to the COVID-19 situation for infection control measures. However, at the end of the camp, the rowing team held an open practice session to prepare for the Olympic Games. About 400 members of the local junior and senior high school students rowing team held up banners on the shore of the lake to encourage the athletes. Thank you.
最後のお写真はお見送りのシーンでしょうか。ね、目の前で選手の練習風景なかなか見れることがないと思いますので、いい機会になったのかと思います。発表ありがとうございます。では続きまして、滋賀県米原市の皆様ご準備いかがでしょうか。
The next presentation will be from Maibara City, from Shiga Prefecture.
米原市スポーツ推進課の伊藤と言います。
My name is Ito from Sports Promotion Division of Maibara City. Maibara City has been a hockey town since it became the venue for the hockey games at the Biwako National Athletic Meet in 1981 and has produced 5 male and female hockey players for the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. As a result, in June 2016, we were registered as a host town in New Zealand, a hockey powerhouse as a counterpart. In 2018, the town will host the New Zealand men's national hockey team for the test match against the Japanese national team. We also hosted hockey experience for children in the city to meet the players. We also hosted international test match in our city. Children from the city play as an escort kid.
こうした取り組みを通してニュージーランドを応援する機運を高めてまいりました。この他にも
In the year of 2019, we asked students to write messages of support for New Zealand in their bid of qualify for the Olympic Games and presented them to the head coach of the national team. Through these efforts, we have been able to build momentum in supporting New Zealand. In addition to that, we have hired a sport international coordinator from New Zealand to give demonstration for English words and simple phrases in primary school, physical education, and general community support club exercise classes, creating opportunities for children to become familiar with English conversation. That's it from me. Thank you very much for your listening.
さあそれでは続きまして大阪府箕面市の皆様ご準備いかがでしょうか。
The next one will be from Osaka Prefecture, Mino City. So we would like to introduce Mino City initiatives as a host town. In 2018, we invited a Kapahara group to hold a New Zealand fair as an opportunity for citizens to learn more about New Zealand's culture. In 2019, we hosted the New Zealand Judo national team for pre-camp training camp during their stay in Mino. The team held joint training session with the Mino Judo Association, visited primary school, and held exchange events with citizens. During this year Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, we made a cheering video of encouragement with from children to support the New Zealand athletes this time. Through the host town project, we believe that we have been able to bring New Zealand closer to more people in Japan. Thank you.
はい、ありがとうございました。1枚目のお写真から、そして背負い投げのお写真までかなり迫力満点という感じで、あとは箕面市のゆるキャラさん、ゆずるくんでしょうか。ね、とてもいろんな交流があったようですね。どうもありがとうございます。さあ、それでは続きまして、兵庫県神戸市の皆様ご準備いかがでしょうか。
Will be from the city of Kobe.
はい、大丈夫です。
はい、よろしくお願いいたします。
はい。はい、神戸市です。神戸市は、2018年。
Kobe City in July 2018, the city of Kobe signed an agreement with the New Zealand Swimming Federation for pre-camping, pre-training camps and exchange in preparation for the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. Kobe City hosted the pre-camp for the 2018 Pan-Pacific Championship in Tokyo and 2019 World Championship in Gwangju, Metropolitan City, South Korea. On that occasion, the city conducted an exchange program, including a model swimming, a performance for the city club teams, and swimming instruction for the city junior high school students. But due to the impact of COVID-19, the team had to fly directly to Tokyo. However, we sent encouragement from Kobe City by making and sending out the cheering video and conducting online viewing session.
発信を行ったりとかですね、またオンラインビューイングを行うということで、神戸からエールを送りました。以上です。
Thank you very much. That was our presentation from Kobe City.
続いては水泳、また英語の授業での交流などもあったということで、ね、応援動画はきっと選手の力になったのではないかと思います。どうもありがとうございました。では続きまして、岡山県倉敷市の皆様ご準備いかがでしょうか。
The next presentation will be from Kurashiki. So, presentation from Kurashiki City, Okayama Prefecture. Although the pre-camp in Kurashiki was postponed, we had an online pep rally and social event with the athletes before they left for New Zealand.
交流会を行いました。激励会では過去の事前キャンプ
Vocabulary session, school children who had interacted with the players at previous pre-camps presented banners, cheers, and choruses in English, and later delivered the banners to the players' village. The banners were later delivered to the athletes' village, where they received messages of thanks and autograph from the athletes in return, and they were really, really pleased to receive these messages and autograph.
ニュージーランドの選手やコーチにお届けしました。またオンラインツアーでは
During the exchange, the junior and senior high school students exchanged opinions in English with athletes and expressed their support. As in previous years, local athletes who had trained with the team in the past also sent videos of their support to the athletes and coaches. The online tour was a great opportunity to catch up with old friends from New Zealand, and we look forward to a further exchange in the future. Thank you.
取った皆様、非常に喜ばれたんじゃないかなと思います。どうもありがとうございます。 さあ、それでは続きまして、佐賀県佐賀市の皆様ご準備いかがでしょうか？
はい、大丈夫です。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
はい、こんにちは。佐賀市スポーツ振興課の吉谷です。
So, our next presentation from Saga Prefecture. Hello, I am Yoshitani from the Sports Promotion Division of Saga City. In September 2018, Saga City was chosen to host the pre-Olympic camps for the Tokyo Olympic athlete team. And for the following 2 years, from 2019 until this year, we have been providing New Zealand cuisine for school lunches at municipal elementary and junior high school once a year. And in addition, at school that requested, a New Zealander living in the prefecture was invited to give a lecture on cultural understanding, and an article on New Zealand was included in the school lunch newsletter to provide parents with the opportunity to learn more about New Zealand. And as a result of these activities, student interest in New Zealand increased, and 53 schools from all over the city presented flags with messages of support to the athletes, and 17 schools wrote letters to the New Zealand Association of Athletic Federation and the embassy. In return, the embassy and the New Zealand delegation sent letters of thanks for the letters. And although the children were not able to meet face-to-face with people from New Zealand, it was a great opportunity for them, and it was a memorable experience for them. Thank you. That's it from me now.
ねえ、羨ましいですね。どうもありがとうございました。さあ、それでは続いて、沖縄県沖縄市の皆様ご準備いかがでしょうか？
はい、よろしくお願いします。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
So our last presentation for this part will be from Okinawa City. Hello, everyone. I am the Olympic host town manager for Okinawa City. Okinawa City has registered as a host town for the New Zealand karate team for Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics. Okinawa is well known as the birthplace of karate, and because some of New Zealand karate team members have lived in Okinawa City or have trained at the city karate dojo. So we signed an agreement with New Zealand in this way. We signed an agreement with New Zealand Karate Federation in 2017. Also, on 4th August this year, we held a New Zealand host town Okinawa City online tour to introduce Okinawa City. Also, Champo culture, which is Okinawan culture, karate introduction and performances, the history of host town, which is Okinawa City, and also Asa performance, which is Okinawa traditional dance performance, and Okinawa dance called Kachasi. Thank you. That was a presentation from Okinawa City.
さあ、本日ご参加の13自治体の皆様より、これまでのニュージーランドの方々との交流についてお話をいただきました。ありがとうございました。
Thank you so much. That was a presentation from each local authority. There are so many activities and initiatives that have been implementing by this local authority from each 13 city. So, Mr. Sakagami, what do you think of their presentation? I am Sakagami from Embassy of New Zealand. Despite of the spread of COVID-19, it was an unprecedented situation for our Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Games. It wasn't really as we expected before to have this like face-to-face exchange. But we've been having these exchanges between New Zealand before this situation happened, and Olympic. We're trying our very best to continue our exchanges between New Zealand, and I'm very happy to see all of these initiatives is taking place even now. It was very short for those athletes stay in Japan. But even for that, even despite of the short period of the stay in Japan, they were amazed by the hospitality of Japanese people and the host town, and those who were taking care of the athletes. They were so happy about their hospitality from Japan. Those encouragement and hospitality from Japanese people that actually reflects in their performance in Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Games. So we are much appreciated. We, as New Zealander, we won a lot of medals this time. As we won a lot of medals this time for Tokyo Olympic Game, thanks to your support from local authority and also people in Japan, and we are so happy for the result. Thank you for your support.
ね、ホストタウンで交流された皆様も、もう同時に喜ばれていたことと思います。ありがとうございます。さあ、それではここで、今年度実施いたしました5つの自治体でのオンラインツアーの様子。
So from now on, please take a look at the summary video of online tours in 5 host town city that we conducted this year. Please have a look.
And we have board some with us. They're beautiful, right? Everyone take a closer look. You can see the New Zealand flag. We'd like to introduce the nature, culture, food, and so on of Sakata. We all welcome you with open arms.
It's called Yamabushi, which in English we translate it to a mountain monk or a mountain ascetic. Thank you.
That's wonderful.
Where we are here in Somaro is famous for maiko, which are trainee geisha.
It was amazing. I haven't seen, we had one dance performance performed to us when we were in Sakata last time. Yeah, it was really amazing to see the dance scene.
It was a very good reminder. My first trip to Sakata, I was lucky enough to see it as well. We all missed coming to Sakata, and hopefully in the near future we can come again. So it was very good.
Thank you. The virtual tour was fantastic. But yes, I guess my main message is I'd like to thank Sakata City for your unwavering support as a host town for Triathlon New Zealand. It was really unfortunate that our athletes were not able to train in Sakata, but I'm sure, when they're competing at the Olympics, they're going to have an extra bounce in their step because of your support. So thank you once again.
I would like to introduce one of them to the athletes today. It's called tonzuke. This is the pork loin marinated with miso. And how did you feel about fresh vegetables and tonzuke?
Yeah, the food's been really good. I think everyone here really likes the cherry tomatoes the best.
Do you have anything you want to do once the pandemic is over?
I think it would be cool if we do get the opportunity to come back here again and visit the amazing city here and actually get the chance to look around and kind of see the tourist side of things. So I think hopefully in the future, if we get a chance, we'd all love to come back.
Mm-hmm. We'll be waiting all the time. What was the most memorable thing about your visit to Atsugi?
It's the people ultimately around Atsugi. It's quite a unique country in terms of the respect of nature that everyone has, and that's the biggest memory. And I talked to a lot of ex-professional sports people, particularly rugby players, and it's a lovely country, and I love going back there, and I wish I spent more time there in Japan.
I hope you will visit Atsugi and actually enjoy these attractive contents we introduced. Thank you very much.
So, well, first of all, let me thank you very much for all the efforts that Atsugi City has made to make a strong connection with New Zealand across sports and culture and these people-to-people connections that are really strong between our countries. Thank you so much for today. It's been really interesting to be online and see, and also to hear from the athletes. Really wanted to wish the New Zealand athletes all the best, wish them all the best for a successful Olympics.
My name is James Benson. I'm Christchurch born, but live and work now for the city of Kurashiki, and I'm very happy to be here with you all today. They've come here in 2018 and 2019 for training camps, and we were hoping, of course, to host them basically now in advance of them going to Tokyo. Unfortunately, of course, and understandably, they've decided to go directly to the Olympic Village because of the corona situation. But we've managed to work our way around COVID-19, and we had an online exchange on Zoom with the students there, and again tomorrow with some junior high school and high school students too. So we really appreciate their cooperation with those programs.
A great experience to come to you guys, and a little bit quieter than Tokyo, obviously, but lovely place. Yeah.
What did you think of the Kurashiki Beacon Historical Quarter?
Yeah, it's really nice. I actually went there once with my friend in 2013. So I knew nothing about it, and I went to that area, the Beacon area, and it was really beautiful and magical. So I didn't know the history though when I went, so I kind of want to go again, and now that I know the history.
It's been 48 years since Christchurch and Kurashiki formed a sister-city relationship. And the next time when you visit Japan, please come to Kurashiki. We look forward to seeing you all.
Through the registration as a host town, we, Okinawa City, have been able to share the cultures of New Zealand and Okinawa. And next time you visit Japan, please come to Okinawa City. We will be waiting for you.
I have been to Japan several times, but only to Honshu and Hokkaido. If we can ever get away from COVID-19, I would probably like that to be in the itinerary for me sometime in the future.
This is an avatar robot called Numi. I'm moving around Asia Museum and guiding Numi towards Kacharshi Circle.
Oh, the performance was amazing. Really, really fascinating. I was entranced by the dancing and the drumming. It's really great tradition that's being kept alive. Very good. It's very good to see. Really, very enjoyable.
Hara-san, a representative from the Ichihara city, will join us from the remainder of this tour.
Hi everyone in New Zealand. My name is Marika.
You can see the message Kia ora here. I don't know if you can see it, quite small, as well as the silver fan, which is a symbol of New Zealand.
Kia ora can mean lots of things. It can mean hello, it can mean thank you, it can mean like, you can say kia kaha as well, stay strong. You know, it's got lots of meaning, so it's awesome that you're promoting it.
So, have you ever been to Ichihara City before then?
Yes, I came over 4 times. People we met were so friendly and lovely and helpful. That's what some things I remember.
The tea ceremony is a way to learn how to harmonize with nature and respect people and things through making and tasting green tea. Savor the tea and sweets with a peaceful mind and a sense of gratitude. In this sharpened space of silence, the spirit that Japanese people have always cherished resides.
Yes, hello, thank you. 今日のイベントに参加させていただきありがとうございました。It was fantastic. The people were so lovely, and people are at the heart of the relationship between Japan and New Zealand. So we so appreciate our long relationship with each other.
Lastly, we would like to take a commemorative photos with everyone. Smile!
Thank you for joining New Zealand Host Town online tour today. Good luck.
さて、5つの自治体でのオンラインツアーの様子、また交流の様子、ご覧いただきます。
That was online tour video, summary video. How was it? Now let's hear from Mr. Fern Stewart from Victoria University. What did you think about the summary video of the online tour that you just saw?
Hi.
こんにちは。
Konnichiwa. I really enjoyed it. It's really nice to hear from both Japanese people and the New Zealanders because obviously both played a part in interacting. It was really interesting what each city and each New Zealander decided to share about and talk about.
そのホストタウンの方々、それぞれ日本人、ニュージーランドの方々の取り組みを見ることができて、とても興味深く見させていただきました。
I think the only other thing I wanted to mention was that I think it's really nice that all the New Zealanders felt that they really connected with the people, even despite having to be online for some of it.
オンラインイベントになってしまって、フェイス2フェイスとはなりませんですが、ニュージーランドの人、そして日本人の方々がね、このようにして交流を持てるということはとても素晴らしいと思います。
ありがとう。
ありがとうございました。ビクトリア大学のファン・ストワートさんでした。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。さあですね、続きまして、これまで培ってきた関係をさらに深め、交流を継続していくために、これからの交流のあり方につきまして、発表、意見交換を行いたいと思います。
Let's hear from each city, local authorities about their future activities that they are planning from now on. So let's start from Okinawa City.
それではまずは沖縄県沖縄市の皆様。
はい。
はい。では、
お願いします。
お願いします。
はい。
We are from Okinawa City. So in the future, Okinawa City will continue to promote Okinawa, the birthplace of karate. And we also ask Olympic medalist Ryo Kiyuna, who was born in Okinawa City, to send a video message to New Zealand. So through karate, we hope that people will become interested in the culture and history of Okinawa as well. And in addition, the Okinawa City Board of Education organized a homestay program for junior high school students in New Zealand last year, which postponed due to the COVID-19 situation. We hope that the student will feel closer to New Zealand and learn about its culture and history in the future too. And also, in near future, we hope to work with other local governments to further expand the circle of exchange and deepen our ties between New Zealand. That's it from me from Okinawa City. Thank you very much.
沖縄県沖縄市の皆様よりやってみたいことを発表いただきました。では続きまして、佐賀県佐賀市の皆様、ご準備いかがでしょうか？
はい、大丈夫です。
はい、ではよろしくお願いします。
はい。
佐賀市では東京大会の事前キャンプでは、過去に実施したのと同じように対面での陸上教室開催を期待していましたけれども、コロナ禍
We
で
had hoped that pre-Olympic camp in Tokyo would be face-to-face session as we have done in the past, but due to the situation with COVID-19, we had to split up into two groups, which is children in the stadium and the athletes in the hotel for an online session. After watching the children's performance on YouTube, the athletes gave them some advice, and children were able to challenge themselves and gain confidence from the praise of the top athletes, and they are very, very happy about it. And Saga City will host the athletic events at National Sport Festival and the National Sport Festival for the Disabled in 2024. Although it will be ideal for athletes and coaches to be able to travel to each other, we believe that regular online coaching will help to improve their performance. In particular, I think it will be fascinating and amazing to connect with New Zealand team who have been very successful in the touring events. Thank you very much. That's it from us. Now let's hear from Kurashiki City of Okayama Prefecture. In Kurashiki City, we are in the process of coordinating exchange for the next year and beyond, including with New Zealand weightlifting officials. In 2023, Kurashiki and Christchurch will celebrate the 50th anniversary of their sisters' city affiliation. And as mutual visits are expected, we are considering exchange events such as participating in matches in New Zealand as well. And we are looking forward for it. Thank you so much. That was from Kurashiki City of Okayama City. So next up will be the presentation from Kobe City. So as for the way of exchange after the Olympic Games, Kobe City will host a pre-tournament pre-camp for the World Championship in Fukuoka in May next year. And we would like to have an online exchange with the other country's team at junior high schools in Kobe. And then when they actually come to Kobe face-to-face next year for the pre-tournament training camp, we would like to have this real face-to-face exchange with the students who participated in online exchange before. We really do hope to have face-to-face online exchange. Thank you very much. That was from Kobe City. Next up from Osaka Prefecture, Mino City. So with the spread of the COVID-19 infection, face-to-face exchanges have been more and more difficult these days. And in the past, Mino City has conducted Skype exchanges between schools as a Skype window exchange. And we hope to continue to do so online in the future. But unfortunately, the New Zealand judo athletes were unable to participate in Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games and were unable to visit as after the game also. But we continue to keep in touch with them online, for example, by sending videos of encouragement, of support to the athletes. And we exchanged with, in 2019, to Mino Judo Association. And we hope that we can continue our relationship with Judo New Zealand Association and keep in touch with them. Thank you very much. From Shiga Prefecture, Maibara City.
一度、ニュージーランドの代表チーム合宿を受け入れた成果がありますので、日本ホッケー協会と協力しながら、日本代表とのテストマッチの際は、米原市で実践合宿をしていただけるような調整を図っていきたいと思っておりますし、また学校の方が
We would like to host athletes in Maibara City, and in our school, we are ready to have this online exchange program in our school too. We are prepared for that, so we hope to have further exchange between New Zealand from now on. Thank you. From now, let's hear from Otsu City. So for the future, we would like to have exchange based on rowing events. And in the future, with the cooperation of both related organizations in Shiga Prefecture, I think it is possible to invite New Zealand athletes to such as head of CETA, the longest race in Japan, and Asahi Regatta, both held in Shiga Prefecture. In addition to that, we are also looking into the possibility of organizing a program in which junior and senior high school students can visit each other's countries and experience not only rowing but also culture exchange such as school visits, traditional culture, and food culture. Thank you. Next up from Ishikawa Prefecture. First, we would like to continue to have sports-based exchanges that have been fostering during the Olympic and Paralympic Games. We would like to make a success of them. We would like to make a success of the Asia Pacific Sprint Cup 2022, which will be held next May at the Lake Kiba canoe sprint course in the prefecture. And of course, we hope to have a large number of athletes from New Zealand participating. The organization of this event will be rotated between New Zealand, Japan, and Australia, and we intended to continue to host it each time. And we're looking forward for your participation from New Zealand. And also, Canoe Racing New Zealand has kindly agreed to send one of our athletes to compete in New Zealand Canoeing Championship. And we hope to be able to send some of our best athletes every year to you. And in addition to these sporting exchanges, I believe that there will be positive effects in many other areas, such as culture exchange and regional revitalization. And I hope that these will be passed on as an Olympic and Paralympic legacy. Furthermore, I would like to promote sport tourism initiatives that we can all welcome people from New Zealand in the future. Thank you very much. From Kanagawa Prefecture, Atsugi City. So far, Atsugi City has hosted pre-camp for various sports such as rugby, basketball, wheelchair rugby, and football, and has conducted various sporting and cultural exchanges with citizens. And we also provided opportunities for children in Atsugi to interact with volunteers and have online exchanges with primary school students in New Zealand in order to increase their interest and motivation to learn more English and to improve their communication skill overall. And in addition, by offering study abroad program in New Zealand for junior and senior high school students living and studying in the city, we have fostered human resources with a global perspective and promoted exchange that will lead to the future. In the future, we would like to create more opportunities for economic exchange between New Zealand and local companies like Sony. We would like to have this matching events and occasion with New Zealand and local companies. Thank you very much.
では続きまして、千葉県君津市の皆様ご準備いかがでしょうか？
大丈夫です。
Next from Kimitsu City. So, as part of their hospitality to the athletes, they were giving opportunity to experience Japanese culture. The way of exchange after the Olympic Games, Kimitsu City and neighboring city, Ichihara City, have planned Satoyama project, the closest to the world project, in order to revitalize the region by making the most of each other's characteristics and their security. They have been working together to promote Koboso Satoyama Go project, which connects with each other's tourist spot with bus routes and to promote the attraction of the region. To the Tokyo Olympics, we will consider how to revitalize region based on the tourism promotion project we have been working on in cooperation with Ichihara City. As for the exchange with New Zealand, we have sent our citizens to New Zealand in the past, as a part of Citizen Overseas Exchange Program. And we have also done Home Stay for Children. We will consider using the Olympics as an opportunity to create opportunity for international exchange and English language learning with New Zealand. Thank you.
千葉県市原市の皆様ご準備いかがでしょうか。
Next, Chiba Prefecture, Ichihara City. We'll explain about our initiative later on. So I would like to explain what Ichihara City will do after the Tokyo Olympic Games. So Ichihara City, in cooperation with JEF United, have been hosting a camp for children of Auckland United FC, with whom we have a friendship, and we will continue to do so. So in the future, we would like also to consider offering children from Ichihara City the opportunity to study football with Auckland United FC in the field of education with the support of Education NZ, Education New Zealand. We would like to implement short-term study abroad program for junior and senior high school students to New Zealand while continuing our online exchange like this. We will also continue to work closely with Kimitsu City, our co-legislative host town, and our partner company, Mother Farm. Thank you. Okay, next up will be Gunma Prefecture, Shibukawa City. Shibukawa City has a friendship city agreement with the city of Fukutane, in addition to our annual summer holiday program for junior high school students. And we are considering an online exchange program in schools as well. We are also planning to introduce Shibukawa City in the summer festival in Fukutane next year with a tourist guide to Ikaho Onsen. Onsen means a hot spring in Japanese, Ikaho Onsen. And also we are going to introduce tourism video of our city. Thank you very much.
などはすごくなんだか聞いていて、夏祭り開催されるといいですよね。どうもありがとうございます。はい。では続きまして、山形県酒田市の皆様、ご準備。
Sakata City from Yamagata Prefecture.
はい、お願いします。
酒田市は今後の交流としてニュージーランド若手トライアスロン
In Sakata City, the host town activities are designed to promote a New Zealand triathlon, to work collaboration with New Zealand host towns to create a symbiotic society, and to give shape to ideas.
その中で酒田市とともにこれまでホストタウン活動を行ってきた私たち酒田工業高校は2つの構想を考え実現に向けて活動しています。まずはじめに今年私たちは厚木市の高校生とコラボして商品を企画。酒田市の
We collaborate with other students. We create these goods. This is a Azuma bag offering for Paralympic athletes, and we gave them as a present for athletes.
その内容はニュージーランドの方がデザインしたものを酒田市の斉藤染工場で染め、障害者の方々に縫製を依頼するオーダーメイドの
We are thinking about our programs such as the design by New Zealand person who live in New Zealand, and we are going to put them into practice as a product, and we are going to sell them for athletes, Paralympic athletes.
そして酒田とニュージーランドのつながりを育むものになるとともに、
We hope that this events and this production will be something to foster our relationship between New Zealand and Sakata City.
ダウン症患者の言語療法の募金活動に取り組む団体、アップサイドダウンズと交流させていただいている私たちが、
We've been collaborating with the association called Upside Downs, and we would like to support those who are suffering from Down syndrome. Thank you so much for your presentation.
皆様が発表をいただきました。あずま袋、今手元に持っている袋がそのあずま袋ですか？
So this one is Azuma bag, Azuma bukuro that they're holding.
どのように中は開けられるんでしょうか？
Could you open up the bag? Can I see inside?
ありがとうございます。
You open like so. Can you see the inside of the bag? You can put pens. You can put stuff in here. You can hold it like this. Yeah, looking very traditional Japanese bag. Azuma bukuro, Japanese traditional bag. This is how you hold it.
ここに、漢字で
Okay. We also put the design of New Zealand here. I think it's in kanji that describe New Zealand. Like maybe it's like a design of like inspiration from New Zealand, like using the stars sign. This is actually the flower. It's not star. It's actually a flower symbol from our city, not actually from the flag of New Zealand. But it looks like New Zealand flag, but it looks very suitable as a collaboration products between New Zealand and our city. Thank you so much for presenting us a beautiful Azuma bag, the collaboration product between New Zealand.
様々な交流ができて、そしてそんなあずま袋が完成するといいですね。どうもありがとうございます。
Thank you so much for your presentation and also.
それでは皆様より様々なアイデアを発表いただきました。ではここからは内閣官房東京オリンピック。
So since we've got a lot of information and idea from each local authorities, Mr. Goto from Tokyo Olympic Paralympic Game Cabinet Secretariat is joining us. Mr. Goto, are you ready?
大丈夫です。よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
内閣官房の後藤と言います。
I'm Goto.
私の方で意見交換を進めさせて。
Now I'm going to take a role as a moderator from the discussion from now on. Thank you so much for your participation today, ladies and gentlemen.
今酒田市の高校生、高陵高校の生徒さんをはじめ、様々な自治体の方から今後の取り組み。
I've heard a lot about initiatives from each local authorities. I would like to ask like a comments from New Zealand representatives. So, I guess, Mr. Taylor Maston, could you comment on the presentation you just saw from each local authority? What did you think about it? How about the presentation so far? 素晴らしい。
本当に素晴らしいですね。私は正直こういう機会。
Amazing presentation. I was really pleased to see that. I didn't know this occasion can happen. I had no idea before this event that this initiative was taking place before. I'm also working to promote this sister city.
こういうホストタウンでいろんなオンラインでできるイベントを考えていっていろいろ紹介してもらってもう本当に
As we just saw a presentation from each local authorities about their initiatives and their activities that they have despite the situation of COVID-19 situation. I just know that there are so many things that we can do despite of this situation. I was amazed by that. Because since it's online exchange, it's not face-to-face exchanges, we can connect and participate from like all over the place, like every places of the world. So through these online exchanges, these exchanges, we can deepen our relationship even more. So these initiatives and initiative from in the future will be our great opportunity to deepen our relationship in the future of New Zealand and Japan. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Mr. Taylor Maston.
ホストタウンというのは東京オリンピック・パラリンピックをきっかけに生まれた仕組み。
Yeah, host town was agreements between the country and the host town cities. because of the
相互にですね、交流を
Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Games.
目的を持って作られたところなので、
It was a cooperation between cities, host town cities, and New Zealand. So this is just a starting point. I hope that it will be an opportunity for deepening our relationship with New Zealand even more. So another sister city, Whakatane.
の委員会会長様でいらっしゃいます、アンドリュー・アイルズ様にもお越し
So Mr. Andrew Isles is here online participating us today.
群馬県の渋川市と姉妹都市
Whakatane City is
ておりますが、渋川市をはじめ各自治体さんの発表を聞いてみて
had agreements with the city. So I would like to hear from Mr. Andrew that participating us today. Mr. Andrew, are you here? Could you put unmute, please? Could you please unmute your microphone, please? Mr. Andrew, are you here? We would like you to tap unmute to listen to your voice, and we would like to see your face. So please turn on your video also if you can. I hope he's here. Oh, I think I can see your face now. Yeah, I think we can see his face like on the screen, on the right side on the screen. Mr. Andrew, can you wave at me? If you can see me, if you can listen.
今、マイクオンのお伝えをしております。少々お待ちください。
Yes, if you're ready, please tap unmute to start your conversation during this discussion. Is everything okay, Mr. Andrew? I guess I can see you and I can see your tap your microphone mute. So please unmute your microphone to start the conversation. Yes, now you are unmute and you are ready. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
Thank you so much. Andrew Isles, I'm the Deputy Mayor of Whakatane. We have had a long association with Shibakawa, an association that has been in excess of 20 years.
20年間のね、交流があるんですね、渋川市と。
We have enjoyed hosting students from Shibakawa as we have when we've sent children over to Shibakawa.
皆さんをホスト何年かしてるんですけども。
It is a great pleasure for our exchange students to learn your culture as it is for them to learn our culture and language.
私たちの文化のね、交流とエクスチェンジにつながったと思います。
We look forward to the day when COVID is behind us and that we can resume our exchanges between Shibakawa and Whakatane.
博多にとね、渋谷の交流が、この COVID-19 の状況が、終わった時にまた、再開することができることをとても楽しみにしております。
I was also joined in tonight's presentation by Matt Bryson, who is a member of our Whakatane District Sister Cities Committee.
メットブライソンのプレゼンテーションも大変楽しみにしておりました。
So, on that note, sayonara.
皆さん、ありがとうございました。さよなら。
アンドリューさん、ありがとうございました。大変素敵なコメントと思います。
We received a very nice comment from you.
それではここでですね、ニュージーランドの方からも素敵なコメントを頂戴したところでは、
We just received the comment from New Zealand.
ニュージーランドホストタウンの連携した取り組みとして、一つ、事例をご紹介したいと思います。
So we would like to introduce one of our initiatives from the host town.
ジャパンフェスティバルといったニュージーランドでのイベントに 出展
We
を
would
した
like
り、
to hear from each authority about Japan Day, the event in New Zealand to promote Japan in there.
昨年度もですね、実施をしようとしていたところだった
Last year, we planned to have this event called Japan Day in New Zealand,
組もうとしていた内容だったり、
but we had to postpone due to the COVID-19 situation. Japan Festival, Japan Day.
倉敷市の佐藤様に簡単に
So we would like to hear from Klasiki City Sato, Mr. Sato, about the initiative that you're about to do.
昨年度になるんですけども、まず、3月に、ニュージーランドの方で開催される予定だった、ジャパンフェスティバル・オブ・ウェリントンですね。こちらの方に、ホストタウン、ニュージーランド横連携で私たち、8市が集まって、大使館の方のご協力もいただきまして、ブースを設けて、いろいろこういった交流の取り組み、それから各自治体の魅力をお届けして、またオンラインでできたら現地の方とも交流しようという企画で動いておりました。本当にあと数日で開催というところになって。
すみません。蓄日薬入っても大丈夫ですか？
厳格にされているということで、市中感染が出て、ロックダウンに入って、
かぶせていっちゃいます。Okay, so we were planning to have this exhibition, which is a Japanese, like a Japan Day. There was they planned to have this event called Japan Day, but we planned to exhibit as a classic city, but we couldn't do it because of our COVID-19 situation. And 2 years ago, there was an event, Japan Day, in Auckland, and we actually could exhibit in there. And other host towns and cities could participate all together that day, and we could exhibit our booth at Auckland Japan Day event. We also have this food tasting event of collagen jelly from Classic City, and we received a nice comment from all of the people who participated. It was amazing, collaborated with other host town city.
ニュージーランドに関心を寄せるんだっていうことをね、気づいていただけるいい機会になったので。
It was an amazing opportunity for us to know that like we are so interested in New Zealand and to promote New Zealand in Japan too. Thank you very much, Ms. Sato.
実際に現地でホストタウンの PR 魅力を発信していくっていうことができる取り組みだと思いますし、
It was a way to PR Japan in New Zealand, even though we had to postpone due to the COVID-19. We just heard that 2 years ago you exhibit with 5 other cities in Japan Day at Japan Day in Auckland. So we hope to have this event that we could participate in the future.
実際にジャパンデーの方にですね、開催に携わっておられるとも聞いております。オークランド日本人会の皆様の方にもちょっとお話をお聞きできればと思います。
So we would like to hear from the Auckland Association, Japanese Association in Auckland.
オークランドの地で魅力を横連携として一緒になって発信していくっていうことが実際ニュージーランドにこういう印象として、受け止められるか、またどのような効果があるのかっていうのをお聞
We would
か
like
せいただき
to know about your activities and initiative in collaboration with other cities in New Zealand. I would like to hear from Miss Hashimoto, who lives in New Zealand, from Japanese Association in New Zealand. We have 4 participants from Japanese Association from Auckland. I will be the representative. My name is Hashimoto. Auckland Japanese Association hosts 19 consecutive years of events. This event is to introduce Japanese traditional culture and modern culture. Is the biggest New Zealand event of Japan in New Zealand. There's 2 million people who participating every year. It has been really multicultural event. it used to be a very small Japanese event, but these days it became bigger and bigger, and there's so many people from all over the country who visited today for this Japan Day event. This year also we had to postpone starting from last year, but we hope to have this event in early next year. But we are still under the discussion of how we're going to have this event because still there's the effects of COVID-19. But this online exchange can be an opportunity to even deepen our exchange between Japan and New Zealand by implementing this online platform like this. I would like to keep on introducing these activities. So I will let you know and disseminate this information of the event soon. And thank you so much for 30 local authorities for your presentation about your activities and your local attractiveness and everything. So thank you so much for your presentation and for your presentation. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hashimoto.
日本のホストタウン自治体の皆さんの地域の魅力というものをニュージーランドの方にお届け
As you just mentioned, this is a great opportunity to let people in New Zealand to know about Japanese charm and attractiveness and attraction in online exchange like this. Despite the COVID-19 situation, we hope that we are going to continue to have these kind of exchange between New Zealand and Japan.
それではですね、本日はですね、オークランド市役所国際課の方からもご出席をいただいております。
So we are having a guest from Auckland City Hall.
オークランドで開催されるということで、オークランド市役所のキンバリー・フーさんの方からもコメントをいただきたいと。
So Kimberly Wu, who is participating today from Auckland, since Japan Day is always held in Auckland City.
魅力を発信していくということに対して、どういった印象をお持ちでしょうか。コメントをお願いできますでしょうか。
So what do you think about the Japan Day in Auckland that held every year? And could you explain about the events?
皆さん、こんばんは。はじめまして。Tēnā koutou katoa, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to join you from Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland.
本日参加できまして大変光栄に存じます。ありがとうございます。
Firstly, I would like to take the opportunity to acknowledge Auckland's long-standing and formal partner city relationships with Fukuoka City, Kakogawa City, Shinagawa-ku, Tomioka, and Utsunomiya.
それぞれの、こちらのシティの皆様の今回の参加、そしてコーポレーション、本当にありがとうございます。
As Hashimoto-san just mentioned, Auckland's Japan Day is the largest single Japanese event in New Zealand.
オークランドジャパンデーはニュージーランドで一番大きな日本関連のイベントです。
It's an annual event hosted by the Japanese Society of Auckland and the Consulate General of Japan in Auckland, with the support from the Japanese Chamber of Commerce of Auckland, Nishuikai.
日本の商工会議所ですとか、オークランドの在住の、日本の方々で構成されている日本人会皆様によっての協力によって開催されるイベントでございます。
And Auckland Council is very proud to have been a supporter for the Japan Day, which enriches the diverse cultures in our region.
オークランドカウンシルとしては、日本のね、とてもダイバースな、とても広がりのある、文化を伝える機会になることをとても嬉しく思っております。
The events have been very successful in promoting understanding and appreciation of Japanese culture and cuisine, building friendships between our peoples, and enhancing bilateral people-to-people exchanges and business and trade links.
このジャパンでこのイベントは日本の文化、そして食べ物、そしてニュージーランドの人々と日本人とのつながりをより深くするような、そういった素晴らしい機会となることを嬉しく思っております。
And in recent years, the organizers have made concerted efforts in promoting the sports exchange between New Zealand and Japan. In particular, the 2019 Rugby World Cup hosted in Auckland, the 2020 Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Games, and the 2021 World Masters Games in Kansai.
このイベントはですね、カルチャーのイベントではありますけれども、オリンピックやラグビーワールドカップが開催されましたが、そのようなスポーツとしてのエクスチェンジという意味もありまして、最近それに力を入れているという次第でございます。
So we really like to take the opportunity to acknowledge the efforts by the community organizations such as the Japan Society of Auckland and many volunteers, which are very, very critical to not only the success of Japan Day, but also to our bilateral relations between New Zealand and Japan. Thank you and ありがとうございました。
本当に皆さんありがとうございます。このジャパンデーのね、本当に成功に欠かせない日本人会の皆様や、様々な、ニュージーランドに住んでいる日本人の商工会社の方々、皆様本当にありがとうございます。皆様のご尽力なしでは、このジャパンデーは成し得ないことだと思いますので、本当にありがとうございます。最後までご清聴いただきまして、誠にありがとうございます。
はい、キンバリさん、ありがとうございました。ぜひ、ニュージーランドホストタウンの皆さんの、もし出店なりっていうところがあれば、ぜひ、オークランド市役所の皆様のサポートもお願いできればと思います。
So we would like to have your support when we have to exhibit in Auckland in the near future of our exhibition of Host Town in New Zealand.
先ほど坂田の発表にもあったように、大学生であったり、高校生が
商品。heard from Sakata, we have made a lot of products like collaboration products between New Zealand and Japan. We also have an amazing impact on education side as well. You just saw from Japanese students from the host town cities.
教育の観点から見てどういった効果があるのか、どういった印象があるのかっていうところを。
So we would like to hear about the exchange activity between host town students and New Zealand in the perspective of education.
Hi everyone and friends in New Zealand. My name is Misa and I work for Education New Zealand based in Tokyo. 坂田市の皆さん、東袋。早速私もゲットしたいと思います。本日は、エデュケーションニュージーランドエデュケーションニュージーランドを代表して、これまでに
As a representative of Education New Zealand, thank you so much for participating in this exchange. I've been visiting many host town cities that you just represented. Just as Ms. Kimberly talked about, we also visit exhibition and also the booth, and we were able to have this exchange with Okinawa City and other cities. With Ichihara City and Atsugi City, we have this agreement, and thank you so much. It wasn't be able to happen if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for your cooperation on this agreement. We are also put our efforts in SDGs, UN SDGs. We are put our best effort about our well-being and also the well-being. Thank you so much for your cooperation, and we are asked for your more support. And if you are interested in our activity, please, I will write down my email address, so please contact us in that email. It's about SDGs activities. For realization for SDGs, in collaboration with Japanese and New Zealand students, we have this competition about how to realize these SDGs goals together. So we have these online events. So from now on, I would like to continue to have this opportunity between New Zealand and Japan. Thank you, Ms. Kitaoka. Thank you so much for your perspective from education. And we just know that there's so many activities and programs that you are planning in the future. And we are further expected more programs like this. So we have Mr. Isizu from Japanese Embassy of New Zealand.
今までやってきたことを、もっともっと発展させたいと発表もいただいておりました。ニュージーランド現地での、例えば商品の販売とか。
So we would like to ask you about how Embassy of Japan in New Zealand could support further exchange collaboration between host towns and New Zealand too.
コメントいただけますでしょうか。
For further exchange in the future.
担当しております石津と申します。本日は
Ishizu from Japanese Embassy of New Zealand. Thank you so much for wonderful presentation. We can see very clearly that we have so much to offer and we have so much to expect from the future. Even before the Olympic, we have been preparing a lot of events and occasions for exchange about cultural exchange and education exchange.
また今後に向けてもですね、その情熱を引き続き持って取り組まれていくというその熱意がよくわかる。
And we can see that it's very we can see the enthusiasm from each local authority about their initiative for the future as well. And as for embassy, Japanese embassy in New Zealand, what we can do is
また今も継続されている人的交流
we would like to continue to support on the culture exchange.
ニュージーランドの方々に発信するということをまずすべきであるというふうに思っていまして。
And I think that is very important to disseminate our ideas and our culture to New Zealand people to understand Japanese culture more from each local authorities. We plan to have the Japan Day, but next year we are planning to have it in Wellington. We actually confirmed to have this event for sure, so please do attend that event as well if you're in New Zealand. And in this kind of occasion, we would like to have this collaboration between Japan and New Zealand. As for expanding the network, we have JET program. I'm sure you heard about it before, JET program that we are having right now. In collaboration with other authorities. It's a project about New Zealand invite New Zealand person to Japan and to promote exchange with culture exchange with Japanese students or English exchange program. We already have 3,300 participants for this program before the coronavirus happened. And each local authority
大体ニュージーランド合わせると1000人ぐらい、ジェット参加者の同窓会という集まりがあってですね、それでニュージー
After this exchange program finished, they still have this ongoing relationship and this kind of like association after the project. About 1,000 people, even after the project. So we would like to continue to have this exchange and program as the embassy perspective.
いろんな方が言われているデジタルコンテンツの発信。
And for digital contents,
もし何かこう自治体の皆さんでやられていることで、
as for digital contents, if you have any digital contents that you want to promote to New Zealand people,
SNS、Facebook ですけれども、そちらを通じて発信すること。
you also have this social media SNS account. So I would like to have like these digital contents from each local authority. If you have any ideas on these, would you? We would like to have the information ideas from you. Next year will be the 17th association, like memorable year between Japan and New Zealand.
に向けてまた盛り上げていければなというふうに思っております。引き続き
We would like to continue have this momentum of exchange and passion between New Zealand and Japan for event. Thank you so much, Mr. Isizu. Thank you for your opinion as Embassy of Japan in New Zealand perspective. We would like to further expand the information and ideas for cultural exchange between New Zealand and Japan, and about exhibit New Zealand product at Osaka Expo 2025.
積極的な交流、末永い交流っていうのをもっともっとつなげていけたらな
We
と。
would like to continue our relationship with New Zealand until Osaka Expo 2025 is coming in 4 years. So we would like to have this exhibition from New Zealand, and we also want to exhibit New Zealand products. Thank you so much, Mr. Goto, for your presentation and also your discussion and your ideas. Now we would like to say thank you for everyone. Thank you all so much for a fruitful discussion. Now we have a new goal for a future collaboration. And as for a final summary of the discussion, I would like to hand over to Ms. Katsuno. Thank you so much for your presentation and fruitful discussion for today, everyone. We've been thinking about how to postpone our also like deepening our relationship between New Zealand and Japan. It depends on our each efforts to put all this initiative into practice and also deepening Japanese-New Zealand relationship. Depends on each one of us. We have to see how is to implement this initiative and how does it fit to our each local authority style and everything. And I know that you are all passionate about deepening a relationship between New Zealand and Japan. So we would like to continue to support on your activities on New Zealand Japan collaboration events. Thank you so much for participating today.
さあ、それでは最後に本日の皆様との記念撮影を行いたいと思います。
Okay, now we would like to take a commemorative photos with all the participants today. So please turn on your video. Yes, so we are going to have a group photo session, but please take off your mask if you are wearing your mask. Just for this photo session. Are you all ready?
49名を超えると2画面になるんですかね。では1枚目の
We have more than 49 people on the screen, so we are going to have the first group. So are you all ready? Please smile at the camera.
それではまず1枚目は普通に参りましょう。いきます。はい、ポーズ。はい、ありがとうございます。では続いて ちょっとピースサインなんていかがでしょうか？
Okay, could you have a peace sign, like a Japanese style peace sign with 2 hands? Thank you very much.
では、
Okay, are you ready?
今準備を行っております。少々お待ちください。
You're preparing
はい
for the pose?
それでは皆さんにっこり笑って。
Okay, smile.
はい。ありがとうございます。
Okay, I think we get this.
少々お待ちください。
Okay, let me check the camera if you get all the
素敵なお写真
nice screenshots. Okay, we done for the photo shoot, commemorative photo session with all people who participating today.
お忙しい中、最後までご参加いただきまして本当に
Thank you very much for participation. And we look forward to seeing you again in the near future as we continue our relationship with New Zealand and our local authority. Once again, thank you so much for your participation. Thank you so much and see you again soon.
またお会いしましょう。
Bye. See you.
Recording stopped.